my mind reinvented. Even though I was repenting, it didn't feel authentic. While the show kept going with the devil, had my mind in submission. He had me.
Yo, it's your guy E. Charles, and you now keeping it a buck with my brother Honor. Salute.
Welcome everybody to Keeping It a Buck. It's your boy Honor from Laugh at Life, OLALO. You already know how I do. And today, I have the privilege today to be here with a special guest. He is Mr. Playlist himself. He is a host. He's an interviewer. He's a DJ of all DJs in Connecticut. He is a producer. He is, man, whatever you want to call him, that's what he is. I am welcome and so honored to have my boy E. Charles in the building. E. Charles, step up to the plate. Let them know who you is, where you from, what you do, what clique you rep. If you got crazy TikTok dance, man, the floor is all yours, dog.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother, man. I appreciate you having me, man. I'm honored, man, to be on your show, brother. It means a lot. Again, I mean, you said the intro for me, man. I'm E. Charles. I rep Danbury, Connecticut, man. Shout outs to the Danbury Trashers. I just seen the documentary. That joke was crazy. It made me feel good that I'm from Danbury. You gotta check that out on Netflix, the Danbury Trashers.
We gonna get into it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I rep Newvilla, man. Shout outs to the whole Newvilla team, man. Everybody who's part of Newvilla, you know who you are, man. So that's me, man. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Man, listen, man, this is a part where I got to give a disclaimer, right? So basically, Keeping It a Buck is a show where we put everything on the table, right? So if there's something I ask or something I say that you don't want to, you're like, I don't want to talk about it. You can skip the question, be like, oh, I skipped. Cool, I respect it. But if I have to go get my wig that has the dreads and get my TMZ bag on, best believe I'm gonna do that.
It's all good, man. Let's get into it, man. It's all good.
So seeing that you mentioned the Danbury Trashers.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Uh-huh.
Let's start different. Let's start there.
All right.
I did see the documentary.
Okay.
Dope.
Shout outs to AJ too, man.
Did you go to school with AJ?
No, I did not.
Did you ever go to so before we even get into that, anybody that doesn't know, go to Netflix, go check out what is it?
Untold.
Untold.
Yes.
Right? There's an episode there from this hockey team that came from Danbury, Connecticut. That was from Danbury, Connecticut. Mob ties, whatever, according to the documentary. Go check it out. I'm not going to elaborate too much.
Yeah.
Chopped off.
Wow, that was
You're better off not.
So what are your thoughts on that? I think the documentary was really, really well done. I was actually surprised that everybody came forward and spoke when they spoke. What were your thoughts on the documentary?
I thought it was great from head to toe. I have a friend back in the day. I'm not gonna say her name, but we used to talk all the time, and she used to tell me about the Danbury Trashers. Like, yo, you need to go to these Trasher games. This is back in like 04, 05, and that's when it was popping. And I knew all the players because she would talk about the players all the time. She would talk about everything all the time. But I'm like, yo, I'm all about basketball, bro. Like, I'm not going to no damn hockey game. So now that I watched the interview, bro, I'm like, man, I wish I went now because it was lit. It was lit. I didn't go out there, but I thought the story was perfectly told. They did a good job from start to finish with as far as details, and I learned some stuff about my city that I did not know. So it was great. It was great.
Now, because you've been in Danbury, how long you been in Danbury? Your whole life?
My whole life, born and raised.
All right. So because Danbury, I moved up here when I was 9.
Okay.
That was the time where the trash company was big everywhere.
It was, and I'm not gonna. I used to work for Napa Auto Parts back in those days, and Napa was owned by Lacoste's, and Lacoste's and that garbage company, they have ties together. So I heard some stories, but I'm keeping it in my mind because I'm not trying to lose my head either. So I'm keeping it to myself.
So before we get into, because we're going to stay on that, because I think that's funny that you brought up the Trashers. Let me ask you a question. What did you think about? You probably saw it. Everybody going crazy about the whole Drake wearing the Trashers jersey. What are your thoughts on that? Because I'll tell you my thoughts, and people are gonna hate me, but I don't care.
Actually, I didn't mind it. You know, I didn't go too crazy, but I thought it was dope. I thought it was dope that Drake had respect for AJ and for his dad and for the whole movement. And you know, he threw on the jersey, and you know, the next morning everybody's going crazy on Instagram and Facebook and reposting it. I think I reposted it too, so I think it was dope. I thought it was dope. I didn't, you know, I'm not like super high on it, but you know, I think it's dope for the city. It's dope for the city.
If I could be honest, I'm gonna keep it up.
Okay. I already feel the energy.
I didn't like it.
Wow. What? Can you tell me why?
Many different reasons why. Well,
Okay.
this is where I'll start, right? One of the reasons why I didn't like it was because I'm not a fan of Drake. Yes, I said it. I'm not a fan of Drake. Now it was a good thing to put Danbury on the map.
Yeah.
I do respect that. I do respect that he had to watch the documentary to get that jersey.
Oh, he definitely watched it for sure.
I felt like it was a little bit of a clout. You know, who's not talking about the Danbury Trashers right now?
Yeah.
Not talking about Danbury. Yeah, Danbury got on the map. Cool. Yo, but I saw Facebook flooded.
Yeah.
Like
I like it because we don't have anything going. Like, you know, we never have anything going. So, you know, we had our little 15-minute of fame. So, you know, I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Like I said, man, I didn't like I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan of that, but you're right. Danbury's never on the map.
No.
Anything.
No.
And the only thing I had a problem with, and people are probably gonna whatever. I saw a lot of people just post, "Oh, Danbury, my town," and I'm like, yo, weren't y'all the same people that were just saying, "I'm so glad I got out of Danbury. Danbury's trash. Danbury, blah blah." You know, like you're quick to disown Danbury, but the minute this comes out, no, not even a documentary. Because the people that watched the documentary and posted it up were the people that were trash your fans, right? I respect. But then you had some people that always trash Danbury, keep trashing Danbury, but Drake put on the jersey. Now everybody, yo, damn, like, shut up.
I feel you. I can honestly say I'm not part of that. Like, I love Danbury. Matter of fact, I moved, you know, away from Danbury. I'm like 40 minutes away now. And let me tell you something. The city that I'm living in right now, there's only like 2 McDonald's, 5 pizza shops, and like 1 or 2 mom and pop joints. So every time I go back home, I'm overwhelmed with food options. I don't know what to do, and I just miss my hometown.
So we gonna keep it on Danbury, right? Because I'm still in Danbury, and I'm gonna stay here for at least the next 10 years because my wife wants my youngest to graduate DHS as well. What's your favorite spot to eat in Danbury? I'm gonna start off with that because I got another one for you too.
Okay. You know what? I think my favorite spot, shout outs to my Dominicans. I can't pronounce it right, but it's on White Street. La Parilla. Yes. I love that spot, bro. Bomb.
They were when they first started. I went there a couple months about last year.
Okay.
Food quality is not that great. Now,
really? But I haven't gone, you know, since I moved up here. I haven't gone a couple years, but that was the #1 choice for me.
Yeah, right across from the barbershop. Yes.
And I used to love Speedy's Pizza, but they had a new owner. Yo, they used to have the best pizza in the freaking world, but they changed their owner about 5 years ago, and now the pizza is trash. Like, it is trash now. Like, it is not the same.
They keep changing the owners of that place.
What, Speedy's Pizza?
Yeah, man, I remember Speedy Pizza was just, man.
Bro.
2 o'clock in the morning, you can get a
pizza. Dude. And then I still remember the number. 203-791-3000, bro. Come on, bro. Don't sleep. Yo, let me tell you something, bro. In the 90s, in the 2000s, that was the best pizza in the world, bro. And then about 5-6 years ago, I don't know who moved in there and changed the ingredients. The pizza is trash now. It's trash.
Yo, they used to have the family deal, the 2 large pizza with a 2-liter bottle of soda for like $25.
Yes.
Straight from my house.
Yep.
Because we want to stay on food.
You're making me hungry, man.
I got a debate for you. We about to make some people mad. You ready for the heat?
Go ahead. Let's keep it a buck.
Espino's or Amigos?
Whoa. You know what? Shout outs to my homegirl Alba, man. Her mom owns Espino's, so I'm gonna have to go with Espino's. Bro.
You chose well.
Yes. Amigos is a bit more expensive and less food, and the same options. Espino's, they kind of switch it up at times.
Yo, my problem, Amigos was bomb when it was small. Once what's his name? I think his name is Victor. Once he started expanding, when he got the liquor store and then he started getting bigger, for me the food quality was just not that. I Espino's for me all day long. Yeah,
I'm with you. Espino's. Let me add one more thing for you. Shout outs to the Brazilians. Which Brazilian spot you like? Banana Brazil or what's the one on Bomford? Huh? Minas. Yes.
Yo, if I could be honest with you, I have to say Banana Brazil because I haven't gone to Minas Carnes yet.
What?
Wow, you never went to Minas Carnes?
No, my wife and I were just talking about this the other day. We're like, yo, we're trying to find somewhere to eat. I was like, let's go to Minas Carnes. She was like, let's go. But then we ended up going to that Spanish restaurant over there by Seatown.
Okay. Wow.
Never been to Minas Carnes. Never.
You gotta go. That's a debate, bro. A lot of people like Minas more than Banana Brazil, but I'm gonna pick Banana Brazil. Here's why. The food is a bit better in Minas, but Banana Brazil, they have an all-you-can-eat buffet. Minas, you gotta weigh the food, and it's not all you can eat. So that's why I give the edge to Banana Brazil.
I don't know if you know, but right down the street from Banana Brazil, there's another Brazilian spot that's the same way.
Yes, there is. And I gave that a 0. I don't like that spot. Nah, I'm good. That's why you didn't hear me bring it up. I don't even count that, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm keeping it a buck, bro. I didn't even bring it up. I tried that place one time and I was like, yo, I'm good.
Oh man, that's great. I love it. So for y'all that don't know, this is a little bit of a Danbury history show. I didn't know which direction we were going to go, but you started with the trash, and let's keep it all Danbury.
Yeah, man.
You went to Broadview or Rogers Park?
Rogers Park, man. Lions
all day.
I'm a lion, bro. I'm a lion.
Me too. You know now they got three middle schools, right?
Yes, I heard they added a new one in where's that by Mill Ridge?
Yep.
What's that one called?
Oh, West Side Academy.
West Side, yes, I heard of that.
And you have to apply and you enter a pool and then you get picked to go to that one.
Is it kind of like a magnet school? Do you know?
I think it is.
Okay.
To the way that they kind of did things, it is. Obviously we both went to DHS.
Yes, sir. Class of 04.
My daughter, she is a freshman at DHS.
Shout outs to your daughter.
I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna hurt your feelings.
What's up?
You know, DHS got a new building, a freshman building. It's called the G building.
They added another building again?
It's called the G building, and they got AC in that building.
Hey, that wasn't the first building with AC though, because remember they added what building? I don't remember what building that was. The C building, they extended it when I was in high school, like my freshman year. You're like 2 years older than me, right? 2-3 years.
I was supposed to graduate in 01.
What year did you graduate?
I dropped out, dude.
Oh wow. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I had beef with somebody. I'll tell you off air. I don't want to put his name.
Okay.
And not because I don't want to put his name out there because
yeah. No.
I don't want to, but me and somebody, we had beef. And the rumor was that he put a hit on me. So I was like, yeah, it's a whole bunch of y'all, you know, they were in the Ridge, a bunch of Ridge dudes.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, my crew's not that big.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm within that and me skipping school, not having enough credits to graduate, that kind of played. So I said, you know what? I dropped out, got my GED, and but I was supposed to graduate in 01. My wife graduated in 02.
So shortly after you left, they added another. They extended C building, the science building.
By the okay, because I know
And
they remodeled the mechanic shop area over there.
okay. But yeah, no, this is on the other side, C building. Because the C building was always there, but they were working on it like my freshman and sophomore year. So I believe junior year, it was like brand new and it had AC in there. Yeah. And that was the same year they remodeled the football field. Because the football field was smaller and they moved it more in the middle and they put the bigger bleachers and everything.
They just put the new turf down.
Yeah.
This year, they did the new turf this year.
Yeah.
But
the G building I didn't hear about, so that's what's up.
Yeah, the G building. And they actually added, you remember the back side of the school? They added an extension to that. It looks completely different. Where
wow.
the building is completely different.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. That's crazy.
And and a fun fact to everybody that wants to hate on Danbury, DHS, Danbury High is, I believe, the largest high school in Connecticut.
Let me tell you something. Can I say a quick story?
Go ahead. Please
Huh?
Please do.
Okay. So September 11, shout outs to not shout outs, but rest in peace and prayers and strength to all the families who lost loved ones. And that was like a couple days ago. September 11, that day in high school, 2001. It was a half day that day. And usually on half days, they switch the periods. So all the last 4 periods end with lunch. So everybody could have lunch before they go home. So that day, the period is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But that day it was 1, 2, 3, 8, and then 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they do that so everybody could have lunch towards the end of the day. So that day, whatchamacallit, we're listening, we're chilling. It was 8th period. It was supposed to be 4th, but it was 8th because again, it was half day, it was the switch. And the principal came on the intercom and he was like, hey, I'm not sure what's going on right now, but there was a plane that hit a building in New York City. We have the news turn on right now and we're not sure what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And, he's speaking very softly because the plane just hit.
Yep.
And then as he's still explaining, he's like, oh my gosh, a second plane. And then we're like, yo, what the heck is going on? So, yo, they shut the school down. People were crying. People were like, yo, my family works in New York. Cause us, for fans of your show who don't know how far Danbury is to New York, New York's a good hour, less than an hour. If you drive fast, you can get to the city.
45 minutes to the Bronx.
Yeah. If you know how to drive, you'll be there in 45 minutes. So, a lot of kids, parents were still working there and all that. And they evacuated us. They told us to leave because we were the biggest high school in Connecticut. And they thought we were a good target because we weren't too far from New York City because our building was huge. So yeah, we went home early that day. We went home like 10 o'clock, 10:30 that day.
I remember that day. I was working at McDonald's, the one over there on Lake Avenue.
Okay.
And McDonald's, I was at the window. I'll never forget that day. Right.
So you were on the morning shift.
I was in the morning shift. Right?
Okay.
I was about to get out because I was the opening manager or whatever. And I remember some lady comes up and she goes, hey, did you hear? And I'm like, no, what? She goes, oh, plane crashed into the World Trade Center. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, because remember, a couple of days before that, there was already like a couple other airplane accidents around.
Yeah.
So I was like, some idiot probably didn't, know how to drive, whatever. And then I heard the choppers right over McDonald's. I was like, what the heck? And then the second plane hit. And then when the second plane hit, I was actually leaving McDonald's. And that's when my wife called me. She was like, hey, can you pick me up? So I went to go pick her up. I remember that day was mayhem.
So she was in high school?
Yeah,
She was
so
in DHS?
that was her senior year.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
Dude,
And
that day was mayhem. That parking lot was mayhem.
it's crazy how you mentioned the choppers, because I remember the choppers flying all over Danbury High School too when we were leaving.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, I remember that. It was crazy. It was chaos because remember, we're like 45 to an hour away from New York City. So we felt it. We felt the energy.
Yeah.
We felt the energy, man. That was sad. It was a sad day, man.
It was.
Sad day.
Yeah, that day was crazy. That day was crazy because my boy, my best friend, he was in the Marines. He was in Camp Lejeune, and I called it. You probably know his brother Ramesh. Ramesh Nagy.
Show me his face after the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember that I freaked out because I thought, he's in Camp Lejeune. They're talking about that the plane was heading down to North Carolina, that that whole, but it was really going to the Pentagon, and it was just, and then communication was shot. My dad lived in New York, so when I try to call him,
oh yeah,
they're getting through.
Especially 2001, bro. Communication wasn't that great back then, so
it ain't no better now neither. These jokers out here with the Apple phone, man. I got an Apple XR. I got the XR, and man, I get no service. Here's a funny thing. Off track. I went to T-Mobile, and at T-Mobile, you're listening. I just plugged you in. Give me a free phone. I went to T-Mobile to check out the service area in my house. I'm lit up green completely, but I ain't got no service.
Wow.
I only get service inside my house through the Wi-Fi.
Wow.
So they tell me it's the phone because the phone doesn't get the 5G. So I'm supposed to get a newer phone that's 5G capable.
You didn't need 5G before. That's crazy.
Yo, crazy. All right. So let's go back into high school because I know you grew up with the Obas. Big family in Danbury, the Obas. And I'm gonna go back a little bit and put you on the spot here. I know at one point before we get to where you're at now, because you're a producer, you're a host, you're a DJ, you're a lot. All right, you do a lot. We'll get into those bags in a second. What was your introduction to music? First off, let me ask you that first because then I'm going to go with something else.
My introduction to music was when I was a child. I grew up in the French-speaking Baptist Church of Danbury, Connecticut. It was a Christian church of a small Haitian community at the time. There was two. First of all, the Haitian community was small back then, but there were two churches. There were the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the Sabbath Church, and then there were the Christian, the Baptist Church. So I was part of the Baptist Church.
So the Seventh-day Adventist, which one is that? Was that the one at the corner by the ice skating rink?
No, they used to rent a building. The Haitians used to rent a building. They used to rent that church when you go up Clapboard Ridge towards Danbury High School. It's on your right. It's like a brown church with glass.
The one with the sloop?
I think so. It's if you ever been to the Greek festival, it's right across the street from the Greek festival.
Yeah. That's the one that the roof looks like it could be like.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah, they had their church over there. They used to rent that building and have their church over there. Our church, we rented a building in Spring Street. You know that church in Spring Street?
The one where it's right next to the bodega.
Down the street from the bodega. There's a bodega on Spring Street too, between Spring Street and Beaver Street.
Okay, the one at the corner where the
yes, at the corner. Yes, that's where my church was at. That's where I grew up.
Right.
So you know Josh, obviously. His father. Shout out. Yep. Shout out to Josh. His father used to. So before we used to sing songs. Before we even had that, let me take you back even further. Before the Haitians even rented that church out, we used to have church in our pastor's house on Saturday nights. And then we would go to church on Sundays, but in Stanford, because Stanford had a bigger community over there. So we would go to church in Stamford. Well, that was back in the day, like 1990, when I was like 4 years old. Then 91 at 5, that's when the Haitians in Danbury finally were able to get enough money and rent the church in Danbury. So we didn't have any musicians except Josh's father. So Josh's father used to play the guitar and had a little amp, and he used to play the songs. And I used to like always look at him, and that always interests me. And even growing up with tapes of a lot of classic Haitian music, like when my mom cleaned the house, you hear Haitian music. We would have a lot of Haitian parties. I would have an older cousin who had a boombox back in the day, just playing 80s reggae. So I was in love with like the old bass lines the reggae used to have. So, all that played into part. So then I say about 92 or 90, you know what? I say about 1996 or 5, my brother-in-law, Jean, I don't know if you know Jean St. Ferry. You probably know him by face. My co-host Vanya, that's her brother.
John is Bridge.
Oh yeah, from the Bridge. Exactly. I forgot. Yes. Yep. AKA the organizer. Shout outs to him. Jean started playing the guitar as well, and he was nice. And Jean started playing the bass, and I would just look at his fingers, bro. I never read music, but I would just look at his fingers and see where it goes. I would know, the C is right here, the G's on top of it, the F is on the left. Like I don't. Nobody taught me this. It's just my vision. Like I'm just seeing Jean do it. So as Jean playing the bass, I don't know if you ever messed with guitars, but if you have a guitar, electric guitar, and you put your ear like where the armrest is, you can actually hear the notes. So really? I would take a guitar, it's not plugged in, and I would play along when the church was singing, and I'll hit all the right notes. And I'm like, dude, I got it. I know how to play the bass. So I told Jean and Josh's father, like, yo, I'm ready to go. They thought I was too young. Like, yeah, you don't know how to play no bass. I'm like, yo, I'm good. I know how to do it. So finally one day they let me do it, and they were surprised. So Jean was like, all right, I don't got to play the bass no more. Let me have Estrus play the bass, and I'll play more of solo. Josh's father was more of a lead guitarist, and Jean was just a regular guitarist, and I was the bass, and that's how we started. So that's how I kind of got into music that way. Then I took piano lessons, and I started messing with the drums. And the drums was, as I got older, the drums was another way where I would see somebody play it, and I'll just look at them, and I'm like, all right, I know how to play the drums. And then the first time we were on the drums, I knew how to do it. I wasn't great, but I was on time. But I understood everything. And then over time, I got better with the drums. But majority of my time with instruments was the bass and keyboard a little bit.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So hold on, wait a minute. And you don't make beats?
So, okay, let me continue my story. So that was like, so I was saying Jean probably started playing the guitar like 95. So about 98, when I was in 6th grade, that's when I started playing the bass. So between 98 and I'm gonna fast forward to 2002. 2002, by then I kind of knew the keys, I kind of knew drums. I was really good with the bass. Shout outs to my boy Davison. This is when he comes in the picture. Davison used to invite me to his house at the Brook. Shout outs to Eden Drive, the Brook. You already know that area. One of the rough areas back in the day, Danbury. He used this program, and he was like, yo, I make beats. It's called EJ. And I'm like, oh shoot, let me check it out. And I'll watch him make beats. And he taught me how to make beats. And then we used to make beats together with this program called EJ. Okay. And then we were on EJ for that was my sophomore year. So for about 2 years, we're on EJ. And then 2004, we started messing with Fruity Loops. Okay. And Fruity Loops, I was making beats there, and I was getting way better with beats. And then I say 2008, that's when I started the Bridge, and I was making beats there with Team UMF, Coffee Music. Yep. So I was making beats, but then I stopped at some point. But I don't know if you have more questions, so I don't want to keep jumping the story here.
No. Listen, please don't. I don't like the short story. I like because
no,
everything somebody could be blessed. No,
I understand. I don't know if you have more questions leading up to certain years. So
Oh,
I
no,
don't want to.
I mean, we could jump back and forth. It don't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
So you were making. So is that? So when did you? Because we brought up the bridge, brought up the beats. You still make beats now?
No, I do not. I stopped making beats.
Why?
I fell in love with audio engineering. I fell in love with it.
Makes sense.
I know I could do both, and I know if I really tried, I could make beats. But I had somebody like Josh was making beats on the left of me. Jean was making beats on the right of me. I will call Davidson. He's making beats. Shout outs to Jay Rosa. He's making beats. I know Alan Ritter, M. Dot. Those guys was making beats. Shout outs to DJ Jazz. Jazz was making beats. You know what I'm saying? So I knew a whole network of people making beats. And at the time at the bridge, we had a bunch of producers and we knew how to record, but we didn't have an official audio engineer. Like, we knew how to record, but none of us knew how to mix, how to master. We used to pay somebody to do it for us. So I'm like, you know what? Let me step up to the plate. As they're doing that, let me get into this new skill set. And I was like, I want to learn how to mix and master songs so we could save money, because we used to pay this guy $100 per song, and it used to rack up. You know what I'm saying? So shout outs to my boy Scott Mason. You know Scott Mason.
Of course, he's a teacher now.
Yeah, he's a teacher now. Yep. So Scott was giving me he was giving audio engineer lessons at the bridge, and I'll be the first student. Yep. And I'll listen to him. He taught me about compression. He taught me about de-essers. He taught me about leveling things out. He taught me about panning left and right. Now, mind you, this is 2008. I went to school for this in 2006, me, Jean, and Davidson, but I just couldn't get it. I could not get it. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand the panning, all the stuff I know now. I could not figure it out in school. I just couldn't. And I wasn't focused. You know, I had my little ex girlfriend back in the day, so I was more into her than into school. I just couldn't wait to see her after school, so I was more focused on her than school.
You had the Delilah.
Yep. Facts. So yeah, I wasn't focused in school, but when 2008, 2009 came along, that's when I was ready. And you know, I was like, you know what? I don't need to make beats, because I was like, yo, if I need a beat, all those guys I mentioned like 3 minutes ago, I could get beats from them. Let me learn how to work and create with the artists.
Yep.
And learn how to mix. So
man, Scott,
I stopped.
Shout out to Scott.
Yeah, Scott. If it wasn't for Scott, man, I wouldn't be where I am today. I give Scott all my blessings, man, for real.
I know Scott since elementary school, man.
Wow.
I know him since elementary. We were cool at one time. Then, you know, Scott was always into like the geeky things, and
yeah,
I got into the streets, and then we beat for a little bit, and then we get king. I got nothing but love and respect for Scott.
Shout out Scott Mason, man, aka the Emperor.
Man, when he got the job as a teacher, as a math teacher, I said, bro, I was like, you gonna rock it. Definitely gonna rock it. He's great.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
So when did you start rapping? You didn't think I was gonna get to that. You let.
Why you gotta tell him, man? Man, come on, bro.
How did that start?
I'm just playing.
Josh.
So shout outs to Josh. Okay, so Josh, I joined the bridge December 2007. Josh joined the bridge around, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, if you hear this, but I believe it was like March 2009, February or March 2009. And again, Josh and I was still making beats at the time. We were making beats for artists, blah, blah, blah. And we were getting better with the beats. But then Josh and I used to talk like, yo, you know the things we could do if we were artists, like, dude, because we already understood the production side. And we didn't really understand the artist side yet, but we kind of had ideas. So we're like, yo, do you know the things we could do if we like rapped, how we could, we could do this with the beat, because we knew we could say this or that, like it would be crazy. So then one day in the studio, I was playing around, we were making this beat, and then I just started saying, oh, like this song called Oh. And then Josh would write for me. I think Josh wrote that song for me. Josh or somebody just wrote that song for me. So I just kept going with the flow. Whoever wrote for me, I'm not gonna lie, I was the Puff Daddy, bro. I did not write my lines, bro. I wrote checks. That's what I wrote. No, I'm just playing. I didn't write no checks. I was not a writer, man. I was not a writer. Josh Defrey, ghost written for me. Jay Easy definitely ghost wrote it for me. Shout outs to Milo, Trackstar. He ghost wrote it for me. I had mad people who ghost wrote it for me. I just wanted to understand the artist. So I had a lot of ghostwriters, but I never wrote anything myself. I only wrote to one song. It was in our Young Boys EP mixtape, and it was called When the Money Goes. And that verse is terrible. I recommend everyone on here to not listen to that song because that verse was terrible, bro. Terrible.
I remember I remember the bridge. I do. I remember I got saved in 2007, and I want to say it was I got saved in March. I think it was in June. I did my first song with Dave Duncan.
Wow. So this was at his house though.
At the condo.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. I remember that condo.
That's when before him and Darlene got married.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They was together, but they were married. I remember.
And I remember he did a song. We did a song called he did a beat for me, and the song was called They Told Me, right? And basically that song was it was basically saying how people told me I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't going to change. I wasn't, so I was giving the big ups of Christ. Oh, no. I'm lying. They Told Me came afterwards. The first song I did with Dave Duncan was a song called Whose Murder Is That? And that's me taking the whole crucifixion of Christ and putting it into lyrics.
Can I stop you real quick, man? Your titles to your songs is always crazy, man. Like, who murdered yourself? That's like, who thinks of that? That's crazy, bro.
Whose murder is that? That was about Jesus' crucifixion. They Told Me. Then I had one called I Love You, Lord. And then after that, I stopped working with Duncan. I couldn't get into the studio, and then he got busy with the bridge. And Dave, shout out to Dave, man. I got nothing but love for Dave.
Shout out to Dave Duncan, man.
Dave always told me, yo, you gotta come join the bridge, man. You'll be great as an artist. Come join the bridge. If I could keep it a buck, I couldn't see myself in the bridge. I don't know. There was something about it. I just couldn't see myself in there. I didn't care to learn about the people at the bridge. I didn't care to, I don't know what it was. It was probably, I'll say it was ignorance. Right? It was ignorance as a baby Christian. It was kind of like low-key hate too, because I wanted to be, when I got saved, I listened to Lecrae.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to take CHH to the next line. And then when I realized, like, oh shoot, there's mad Christian rappers, not just me, right? But I remember an event that I think it was the Young Boys album release party.
Wow. Okay.
And,
you attended that one?
I attended it, and
Okay.
I think Scott Mason posted up a picture not that long ago, and he's like, "Look at you in the crowd."
Wow.
I remember that because I remember you remember DJ Bishop.
DJ Bishop. Yep.
Right, Frank.
Yes.
So
DJ SB. Shout outs to Frank.
Yep.
MSM band right now.
Semband, yes sir. He's still going strong too.
He's still going strong. He's the best drummer. Best drummer right now. No, I honestly don't see anyone on top of him on the drums. I don't.
Dude, that dude is phenomenal on those drums.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
He used to call me the human playlist. No, the human iPod. Because I that's when that was when CHH was completely different. That's when you had the Corey Reds, you had the DJ Wade always throwing something, Frontliners, Cross Movement, Lecrae, Flame, Joey's Justice, a whole bunch of like slew of like rappers that I don't even know, with Jafia Life. I remember that. I remember you guys performing, and that was a great performance. And if you didn't say just now that you had ghostwriters, I would have never known.
Really?
I would have thought you had bars.
Dude, I don't rap, bro. I do not rap, bro. Let me tell you something about me. I don't know any lyrics to any songs, bro. And yo, I here's the thing. Here's the thing, bro. My brain is different, bro. When I hear music, I listen to the mixing. I listen to the instruments. I listen to the panning. I listen to the reverb. Ever since I was a child, bro. Like I literally don't know any lyrics to any songs. Like I know the song and I'll know part of the lyrics. If there's a song like I really like, then yeah, I'll know the lyric. But if it's like a song that everybody listens to here all day, I don't really pay attention to the lyrics, bro. My brain is different, bro. I have like a audio engineer brain. Like
Yeah,
I'm listening to the mix, I'm listening to the reverb, I'm listening to like every time I hear a song, even if it's a song that's been out for a while, like I'm like, oh, yo, how can I use what this engineer did and use it on a song that I'm about to mix next or something? Like that's how my brain works, bro. I know I'm weird, I'm different, but that's I'm keeping it a buck.
that's dope. I'll give you your flowers in a second. That's dope because you guys did things definitely different. Um, I'm upset. I'm upset at myself because I didn't get involved with the bridge back then. Because you guys did a lot. You guys did a lot, and hats off to everybody that was involved with the bridge. I know you were really close with the bridge. I remember when the bridge brought out Richie Righteous when he did that song, Who You Represent? That
was a crazy night.
RICH, that when
Yep.
he did that album.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
that joy was fire.
That was a crazy night.
Yeah, it was. What brought the bridge together? How did the bridge form? Because even though I don't know if people knew, but well, you know what? Now I remember. Now I remember why I couldn't get into the bridge. Now that I'm about to ask you this question, now I remember. And it was because me as a baby Christian, I was in that legalistic mindset. Because the bridge used to host parties. And remember, I heard about the parties and they were like kind of like a club type field type party. And me being fresh, I was like, nah, you can't be part of it. I literally took that script. You can't be part of the world and God. So in my ignorance, and I'll admit it, in my ignorance, in my legalistic mindset, not knowing, that was my issue that I had. But now that I think about it in hindsight, man, like I don't even know if people really knew in Danbury, but me remembering, because I remember I attended maybe one or two events of those from the bridge. And I heard Dave Duncan will always talk about it. And I would hear certain, Bishop talk about it, like, oh, da da da. And hearing how they would talk about it, whether people want to admit it or not, but the bridge, when it was in Danbury, it was a staple for Christians. It was a big staple point for Christians. Who came up with that idea? Like,
so from my understanding, it was definitely Vidal Goring. Shout outs to Vidal Goring. I think him and Vincent had an idea to create something. Vincent Bongiovanni, shout outs to him too. And I don't want to get into the financial part because I don't know the full story. I heard rumors, but I don't want to say something and that's not it. But
of course,
they were able to get some funds and they were able to buy some equipment. I guess the idea first was just a music studio, and they started off at Faith Church. Pastor Frank gave them a room, and I remember Vidal got in contact with John. He found John somehow, and John, Vidal, and Vincent, they invested their time and created a small studio, and they started recording one of the first artists on Coffee Music. I think Jade was the first artist. Yep.
She was dope.
Yes. And after Jade, it was a woman named Carmen. I forgot Carmen's last name, but I know all her daughters. Shout outs to Nicole and Melissa. I forgot the baby sister's name. Don't kill me. I know her. But it was Carmen. I forgot Carmen's last name.
I know who you talk about too, and I can't remember her last name.
Yeah. And they used to record Carmen and Shawn Matthews. I think Shawn Matthews used to record at Faith as well. And it was just, I think those were the three artists at the time. And then Vidal, Jade, Jean, and Vincent had the idea like, yo, let's go bigger. Let this not only be a studio, let this be a place where we can teach kids to dance, where we can have a fitness center, where we can have a juice bar, where we could have a place for Friday nights like open mics. You could spit, freestyle. You could spit as long as it was clean. Like it didn't have to be like Christian, but no swearing because it was a clean house. So that was the idea they had. And I think that's how it formed. And I came in about this was like summer of 07 when all this was going on. And they probably brought me in around like October 2007. Cause I remember Jean called me and he was like, yo, I just joined this group and we're looking to do big things. And you and I just graduated school last year because we graduated school in 2006, and Jean was doing some internships. I only had one internship, but I couldn't even I didn't last long because I was going to New York a little bit for the internship, but then I had no job, so I couldn't even afford tickets going back and forth. So it didn't even last long. I just was doing Napa and I wasn't sure what I was doing in my life back then. I think back then I wanted to do DJing, but I didn't even have money for equipment. I used to intern with this DJ crew. I forgot their name. It used to be 4 of them. And they used to DJ at little clubs in not clubs, like lounges and sports bars in Bethel. And I used to do that from 06 and 07. And then 07, Jean brought me on with that team. So God was trying to always put me in somewhere, but I just couldn't understand what it was yet. But when he put me with the people at the bridge, then I started understanding the vision.
Gotcha.
So that's how it kind of started with those 4 back in 2007. And then we officially opened the doors. They got the idea for the bridge. I remember walking into the bridge with no walls yet. It was just wide open, and Fidel sat me down. He was telling me the vision and everything, and I was sold. And I was like, yo, let's do it. And they opened their doors December 2007.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sitting there listening, and I'm like, I just realized I sounded like a hater.
You know what? Back to what you just said about you not accepting what was going on at the time. You aren't the only one. I remember we had our launch party, our coffee music launch party. And it was like
coffee music. Wow.
Say that again?
I said I forgot about coffee music.
Yeah. We had our coffee music launch party where we had 10 artists on the label, and all the artists had to basically sing 2 songs for the night, and the house was packed. And Frank, that was DJ SB, he was playing music. We had vibes going. The lights, I'm not gonna lie, it did remind you of a club because the lights were off. You had the nice neon lights. You had the sub with the bass. You had Christian hip hop, so it was booming. It did have a club vibe, but it wasn't a club. It was just all of us just vibing. And two people walked out because of the same reasons what you just said. They didn't feel like it was right. They were like, yo, this is like a nightlife. You're contradicting yourself. And we're like, nah, this is just a vibe. It's an open mic with the lights off. And they felt the same way you felt. 2 people walked out. I remember that.
And you know what? I will say this now publicly. I never told anybody that. So I'm going public with everything. Mm-hmm. I do apologize for that because, like I said, it was now that I think about it and as I've grown in the faith and more mature, I realized that it was all a legalistic mindset because what I would die, well, not die. I'm not going to go to that extreme, but I would love to see a scenery like that again in Danbury.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the bridge broke up because after a while I realized, what they're doing their thing. Mm-hmm. I remember you guys supported Ronald. I know you guys supported Day. Shout out to Day. Shout out to Ronald.
They were all coffee music artists except Ronald. Ronald wasn't a coffee music artist yet because he wasn't he was starting to write, but he wasn't like he just got his foot in the door. So he wasn't a coffee music artist yet.
That's when he started doing the Gmail series, right?
Yeah, he started doing Gmail and all that. So he was still a baby at the time as far as writing, because at that time he was just transitioning from poetry to hip hop, to writing. And we've been told him since he was doing poetry, yo, that's the first time I heard poetry with bars. I was like, bro, like, how you saying poetry, but you got bars? Like, you could rap, bro. And he was like, no, I can't rap. And we was all, I remember me, Justine, even his sister, we was like, yo, you could rap. And he finally started rapping, and it became history. He wasn't bad, yo. He was a good rapper. I liked Ronald.
Yo,
I like Ronald.
I like Ronald because he's refreshing. The sound he gives you is so different. It's refreshing. And,
yes, it is.
He do got bars.
He does.
Got bars. He got bars.
Yeah. He has punchlines. He has crazy punchlines.
When did the bridge break up? Oh, not break up. Well, when did it stop?
Okay, so the bridge. Okay, so I know I wasn't in the behind. I was kind of behind the scenes, but not like although I wasn't like Jean, Fidel, Jade behind the scenes. Like they did all the business stuff. I didn't know the business stuff. I just knew I was just told to at some point to run, coffee music, run UMF, make sure that's good. But as far as finances, I didn't know anything about that. So I know at some point in late 2009, I don't know if there was financial issues, but we had to move from what road is that? Where Comcast is at? Man, I forgot the road.
Dang, I don't. It's right by the DMV.
Yeah, right by the DMV. I forgot the name of the road. Dang, I used to know the address. But I know the building is 5. I just forgot the street name. But we had to move from that building to Great Pasture Road.
Okay.
And with Great Pasture Road, there was an owner at the time of the building. They were gymnastics. They were into gymnastics, but they owned that building. They liked what we were doing. And that I believe they heard we were going through some, small financial issues. So they took us with their open arms and they said, hey, you guys can continue the bridge here. And, again, I don't know anything about the money part. I don't know if because Jean was making a little bit of money with his Taekwondo class with the classes. So I don't know if classes helped pay the bills over there or the dance classes helped over there. I don't know anything about that. So they took us with open arms. We were there late 2009, and then until we didn't even last a year there. Maybe fall 2010, we had to move from there back to Faith. And when we moved to Faith, it was just downhill from there. Faith took us in. Obviously, I don't think we had classes like that anymore. It was just the studio there. But it was just going downhill, and then eventually things fell apart. I don't know 100% of the reason why, but things fell apart in 2012. It finally ended because we were.
Excuse me.
Wow, that
No,
was
you good.
inappropriate.
We were able to drop. We were able to drop 3. I was able to drop. Well, no, I would say we were able to drop 3 projects that helped coffee music. But and that one of them was 2011. I recorded Elijah Miguel. His Elijah Miguel, he used to go by Unknown Prophecy. I recorded his album Enough Was Enough, and that was the first. Now, the first thing I ever recorded and mixed by myself was the Young Boys mixtape, but that was like a 5-song EP. But my first album.
Where can we find that?
I guess if you want, you could find. I think it's still on Reverb Nation. I don't have the link, but I'll send it to you if I find it.
I'll put it up in the description.
But whatchamacallit? Yeah. So after the Young Boys project, that was the first thing I mixed and mastered. But I actually got better when I recorded Elijah Miguel's project, Enough Is Enough. And then after that, I decided to do a mixtape. and that mixtape was called The Ambition. I don't know if you ever heard that mixtape,
Mm-mm.
but I had Elijah Miguel on there. I had Josh on there because Josh stopped rapping after Young Boys, but then came back as a solo artist.
Mhm.
So he came back, and that was the first project he was back on. So I had Josh on there, Elijah Miguel, Blaze Torch, Deep Pipe. I was supposed to have Day, but Day had a lot of stuff going on, so he couldn't make it. I had my sister Manny. She sung on a couple hooks. I had Justine. Justine just had her baby, but she was still doing her thing. And yeah, that mixtape was a good mixtape. That I would love I would love for you to hear that.
Please tell us so we can find that mixtape.
That one you could definitely find. That one is definitely on Reverb Nation for sure. And I'll send you the link for that one.
For sure.
And then after that mixtape, the last thing I recorded in Coffee Music was Josh's debut album, which was I Stand Alone.
Yo, that album, that project is phenomenal.
Shout outs to Josh, man.
And then right after that, he just took off.
He took off. I think, again, he started with Young Boys, but I think he started getting his feet wet when he was dropping like, there was a period of time he was dropping like, he would rap over beats, hip hop beats, and just drop little songs here and there. But I think he started getting his feet wet with the Ambition mixtape. And then after the Ambition mixtape, when he dropped his first album, yeah, he took off from there. He did.
Just real quick, because a lot of people don't know about Josh. Spell out his name so they could find him, because I didn't realize how many projects this brother has. He has a lot of projects. I looked him up one day because when I went from Apple to Spotify, I looked him up and to put some of the songs on my playlist from the I Stand Alone project. And I was like, oh shoot. Yo, this dude got mad projects out here.
I'm not sure about the number, but I think he has a total of 150 songs out there, probably plus, but at least 150. Because I remember we dropped a little video for him, you know, shouting him out, basically, you know, celebrating that he dropped 150 songs. Projects I don't remember. I can't even count anymore. I recorded and mixed all his songs, man. Nah, he would record them. So we had a good system, man. We had a good system. But first of all, let me answer your question. How you spell Josh? It's Joshva. So instead of Joshua, it's Joshva, but he says it Joshua. He just puts the V in the end so he could stand out. I told him he should call himself Joshua because nobody has that, and it'll be easier to find. But yeah, nah, he did his thing, man. That's my little bro, man. He challenged me too, man. He challenged me. He helped me get better with my mixes too, because when he was recording I Stand Alone, he was messing with new sounds that I didn't think the program had. So I was like, oh crap, we had this? Because he told me he was just picking around, messing with new sounds. So it made me dig deeper and heard different other sounds. And I'm like, oh shoot. And then my mixer game just got crazy after his first album. So shout outs to Josh, man.
Now, he makes his own beats, right?
Yeah, he makes his own beats, but recently, I don't want to put him on the spot. Recently, I think his last couple projects, he did not produce any of those beats, but I know I Stand Alone, I've Met the Enemy, and maybe like, yeah, maybe like a couple other songs after that he made some beats. But I know his last couple runs, his last few projects, he mostly had producers work with. He worked with different producers.
So seeing that we're talking about Josh, I got a question. Probably you're not the person I should ask. I should probably ask him. I'm gonna see if I could reach out to him soon. There's a what's the name of the song? I think it's on the 5 Summers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a line that he says, he mentions your name. What does he say in the line? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to look for it. In the meantime, what did he say? He said something about if it wasn't for you, something about going to weddings alone or something like that. Oh,
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, he said, I don't remember the word, but basically he was saying, you know, before I got married, he didn't need a plus one because it was always me and him.
Yep.
Yeah. But because, I got, married and, both of his friends got married, which was me and Jean. He had to do a lot of things on his own, and he took that time to grow as a man and find himself during that era. So I think that's what that verse was about.
Okay.
I don't remember. I forget which song, bro. I forget which song, but I remember the line though.
Yeah, nah, I forgot. I don't remember the name of the song.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, all right. So we talked about the bridge. Man, well, I'll bring something else back. We talked about the bridge. Shout out, first of all, man. I'm doing all this. Shout out to Faith Church and Pastor Frank, man. Pastor Frank is such a cool dude. So, just
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah.
I remember when I was in the Young Boys group, me, Josh, and Justin, and we shot our first video. Shout outs to Russell. Russell shot our video for us. It was called Jesus Can't You See? That was the name of the song. And we blasted it all over Facebook. And I remember I went to church like shortly after we dropped it. And Pastor Frank pulls me aside. He's like, yo, I seen you in that music video, man. That was cool. Like, I was like, oh, shoot, you seen that, Pastor? And he was like, yeah, like, I want you guys to perform for the kids and this and that. I was like, yeah, we'll do that, but it never happened. But yeah, that was a cool moment.
Now, Pastor Frank, man, it's funny because I could tell a quick story. Pastor Frank, I posted up something on TikTok, and I was actually surprised when he went on Instagram. I started following him and he started following back. I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, crap. I got to watch what I put now. My pastor's on following me.
I don't think he follows me. So
no, but Pastor Frank, I think he be secretly watching and paying attention.
He does. He knows a lot, bro. He knows a lot about me. He always tells me stuff. He'd be like, I see you doing this. I see you doing that. He be watching.
So one day I end up at church, right? I send them, I did a TikTok, right? So a guy gave me a vision. So I did a TikTok and I sent it to him, right? He didn't respond, whatever. All right, cool. I get it. Busy pastor, he has a lot on his plate. Oh, we go to church that weekend. He sees me. He goes, what does he say to me? He goes, he gives me dap. He goes, the internet sensation. I'm like, oh wait, you watch what I be putting on? Like, oh man,
you gotta be careful now. Yo, oh man, that's funny.
Yo, thankfully, social media is only about the show and God, man.
Absolutely.
I started keeping my family private because
I'm starting to do that too. I don't really be on social, especially Facebook. Facebook, I'm only there for the radio show, but we're off air right now. But I'm not really too much.
Yes, thank you for bringing it up.
Okay.
That was my next segment.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Before we get into the radio show, let's talk about New Villa.
Okay.
Right? How did New Villa start? What is the purpose behind New Villa? What does New Villa mean? How did you come up with the name New Villa? Talk about New Villa.
All right. The name New Villa. So first of all, before the name, I always had a vision when because things weren't, I kind of had this vision towards the end of Coffee Music because I could tell Coffee Music was on its last legs. And I don't want to say its last legs because after the bridge, they actually continued. They signed more artists and did their own thing. But I personally, with personal reasons, I kind of was done with Coffee Music. They were doing things that I didn't have the same vision as them. So I was starting to think of, okay, what do I want to do next? And I had a vision of, a group of artists that was young, that was new, that was different. And like, if I had to compare it to anything, it was like, to me, Coffee Music was like Cash Money, but I wanted New Villa to be Young Money, you know, because Young Money had Drake, Wheezy, Nicki Minaj. They were all new and fresh in 2009.
Yeah.
Young Cash Money was the OGs with, you know, Baby, all them, you know, yeah, they were all the OGs. So I kind of had that mindset. So I always had the vision, but nothing ever came through until, you know, when Coffee Music ended, Josh dropped I Stand Alone, and that was his final project with Coffee Music. Now, Josh took a break after that, and while he took that break, I remember I was like, man, the whole 2000, remember, I think I told you Coffee Music shut down in 2012. So 2013, that whole year, bro, I had no equipment. I had no music equipment. I had nothing because everything I was doing was in the bridge. So 2013, I remember hitting up Josh, and Josh and I was talking, and he was like, that was the year where he was dropping music videos to his album. And we were talking, and I was like, yeah, man, like, you know, I had a vision for, first it was called New City. I was like, I have a vision for New City. I think, you know, with New City, we could do this, we could do that, we could do that. And Josh looked at me, he was like, yo, we should start New City. We should start a New City thing and have me be your first artist. Like, we're brothers. We don't need, you know, we know each other. We're not going to play each other. There's no money involved. Like, let's do it. Let's start something. Let's do something, because he was a free agent. But then he showed me like, yo, I'm loyal to you, because he was like, I need a machine. I don't want to just be Josh. I need something pushing Josh. And your vision, your idea helps me with what I'm trying to do. So I think Josh being with New City would be perfect. And I looked at him, I was like, yo, let's do it, because Josh was young, he was fresh, he was hungry. And for him to be the first artist of New City, I was like, man, I couldn't thank God for a better artist and a better time for this. So I was like, yo, let's do this. So Josh and I, we was at his house, we was making the New City shirts, and we was making the New City logo, and things were doing great. We made a Twitter account. We was like, yo, we about to change the game with this. We was mad happy about it. So then I remember a week later, well, during that same night when he was making shirts that said New City, we was like, yo, we should do one in Creole, because city, villa means village, aka city in Creole. And shout outs to my Haitians. My parents are from Haiti. So it was like, yo, New Villa would be dope, because, you know, that's like the Haitian version. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, let's do that. So 2 weeks later, you know, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, yo, I started New City. This is dope. So I'm Googling New City. And bro, when I Google New City, there's New City stuff everywhere. There's actually a city called New City in New York City. No, I mean in upstate New York. There's New City this, New City that. And I'm like, yo, when it comes to copywriting, like, I can't even do it because there's so much New City stuff. So then I thought about when Josh made the shirt, when we made the Haitian version, and it was New Villa. So I'm like, yo, I think I want to switch to New Villa. And I Google New Villa and you see nothing. So I'm like, yo, that's the name, New Villa. I'm going to do New Villa. And let me go back to the first question you asked me, where I got the name New City. Because remember, New City is New Villa. So New City, I got that name from Revelations in the Bible. Towards the end, I don't know, I don't remember which chapter, which verse, but God talks about when the earth passes away, and when the earth gets casted, you know, into hell. I think before that part, I don't know, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The new heaven, new earth.
Yeah, new heaven, new earth, and a new city will come down and reign on the new earth. And when I read that, I was like, wow, I want to rep that New City. That's where I got New City from. So then I flipped New City to New Villa, because remember, city is like village, aka villa. So Villa. So it's New Villa, and I got it from that.
That's dope. I'm glad I asked that, because that has such a more of a deeper meaning behind it. Now I know you guys at one point signed another artist with New Villa. What's going on with that?
Okay, so before I say that, I also called it new villa, new city, because I want God to be repped no matter what we do. We want God to be repped 100% because He put us in this position, and we always want to give Him the glory. So that's why I called it new city too.
Amen.
Okay, so after Josh, the second artist I was looking into was Sean Matthews. Sean Matthews,
Such a beast.
he's a beast. He's a problem. Shout outs to Sean. I know he's mad at me because we haven't spoken in a while. So if he sees this, he's gonna be like, "Yo, why are you even mentioning my name?" But nah, Sean Matthews was the second artist we signed because when he came out, he did some time, and when he came out, Coffee Music kind of did its own thing, so he wasn't really rocking with that, and he didn't like the new changes. Like he's like, "Yo, everything changed like within 5 years." I'm like, "That's life, bro." Like, he expected the same Coffee Music group when he came out in 2013. I'm like, "Yo, that stuff is gone, bro. Like, it's not even like that no more. Like, everybody's doing their own different thing." So I was like, "Yo, rock with New Villa. Like, I see you with New Villa. Like, yo, I'll get you beats. Just write to him and come to the studio and we'll do our thing." So he was down with that. So, Sean Matthews was signed to New Villa. But then, I don't know what's going on with him with New Villa right now. I don't know if that's still a thing. We never even talked about it. But the third artist was Tron. Shout outs to Tron.
Yep.
Tron was a young, hungry dude, man. He loves God. He goes through a lot of struggles. He struggles with a lot, but he admits it. And he's new, he's young, he's fresh, and he's part of the New Villa team. So right now, it's safe to say it's just Josh and Tron right now. Sean Matthews, we're not sure what's going on with that, but right now the two New Villa artists is Josh and Tron.
Dope. Now, if people don't know yet, they probably don't know because I don't say it. You are my new producer. You produce the music that I make. I am.
Should we use producer or should we use engineer?
Engineer. Oh, whichever,
Yes.
whichever
Engineer.
you want. Engineer.
Engineer.
I am going to say this. I wasn't going to say nothing, but I guess I'm going to say it now publicly because then we're going to get off the topic of music and go into something else. Get ready because I got one left.
Okay. Project or song?
Project.
Okay. Let me tell you this. Make sure I don't want to rush you, but I don't know when, but I'm going to shut down soon because I may have some moves going on.
Okay.
But we'll talk off air. We'll talk off air.
No, well, here's the thing. I'm not sure when.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just taking I'm enjoying doing this.
Yes.
This next project for everybody that watches when this comes out. This next project is called This Is It.
Okay.
You've heard me say it before.
I did. This is like the third time you're saying this is it, but I trust you now. Third time's a charm.
This is the last.
It's all good.
Last project. After this, I am hanging it up. I prayed about it. I've had people say, "Yo, don't do it," blah blah blah. But I prayed about it, and God has me in a different direction.
No doubt, man. Yeah. And again, we'll talk more off air about it because I'm not gonna say too much, but working on some stuff. So
no, of course.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm working on some stuff, but when that starts, I gotta shut the studio down. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
I don't think this project is gonna come out anytime soon, anyways.
Okay, no doubt. But I'll be ready. We'll both know when the time is ready.
Absolutely. So seeing that we're talking about ventures, the We Break Silence show. Let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And not only are you a producer, an engineer, a rapper. Yeah, you're a rapper.
That I really hate, bro. I really don't like that. I'm not a rapper.
A beat maker. You're also a DJ. You're also a host on a show called We Break Silence show. And if y'all don't know about the We Break Silence show, you guys could go catch it. I know the easiest place to go find it is iHeartRadio and SoundCloud, right?
Yeah, yep. We're gonna be on more platforms soon. I'm working on that as we speak.
So talk about give the people a little bit about the We Break Silence show.
All right, cool. So you remember when I was telling you about the mixtape I dropped in 2011 called The Ambition?
Yep.
All right, so when we dropped the Ambition mixtape, I kind of wanted to be interviewed, and so we could talk about the project and talk about, the time it was back in 2011 with all 7 artists. I was basically doing what DJ Khaled is doing now, just putting different artists and songs and just have them do their thing. And I was just screaming on the tracks like I was DJ Clue or Funkmaster Flex. I'm just screaming on top of my lungs like, what? But it was fun. It was fun. So Vanya, shout outs to Vanya. She always had this like, I love getting to meet new people. I love like interacting with people, like spirit on her. Like she loves that. Like she loves communicating with people. And I thought it would have been dope for her to have a little show and introduce who we are and what we do, and have us and ask questions to us. So I made her do that, and she did a hell of a job. Like this was Vanya's first time on camera interviewing people, and she did so well. It was like she was a pro at it. So I always seen that in Vanya. So let me fast forward to 2000. That was 2011. So let me fast forward to 2015. 2015, Josh and I, we were talking about the shout outs to Westcon. They have a radio station. I don't know if you know, they have a local radio station down in Westcon.
I was told to go put my podcast on over there, but
okay, nice. So we were going to do the same thing. Josh was like, yo, I went online. I was trying to, they have different blocks open and you could go in there and have your radio show and do your thing. And I was like, yo, that would be dope. Cause we knew people on the show that had shows, but they were playing like hip hop artists that you would hear on Hot 97, Hot 93.7. Like you could go other places to hear that music, but you didn't hear a place where you heard up and coming artists. You know what I'm saying? And new artists that's trying to break and trying to come through. So Josh and I was like, yo, that would have been dope if they played like up and coming artists on the station. So we could have, so we could promote ourselves that way, blah, blah, blah. You hear, new ears listening to our music. And I was like, yo, that's dope. So I knew somebody who worked there. And I hit the person up on Facebook message. I'm like, hey, what's up? It's been a minute. I hope all is well. Yo, I know you work at the station. How can who do I connect to be a part of that station? I have an idea I want to do. And, I'm thinking about doing a radio show. I kind of had an idea. And the person never responded to me. And then I'm like, all right. So then, when you go on the message, it says seen. When the person reads it, it says seen. But then the person posts a comment and does this and does that. And I'm like, dude, what happened, yo? Like, I hit you up. Like, so I'm not gonna lie, I felt a certain type of way. So I'm like, all right, I see what time it is. So I used it as fire. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing, bro. I'm gonna do my own thing. So I went on YouTube. Shout outs to Chris Ellington. You know Chris Ellington.
Or
I hit him up. Yep. Shout outs to Chris. I hit him up and I was like, yo, I have this idea to do a radio station, blah, blah, blah. And him and I started doing research on what we need, what we could do, this and that. And God was just giving me ideas of what to do. Like, yo, play, like I was saying, like play music from up and coming artists. Like you already got Hot 97. You already got Hot 93.7. You already got 98Q. Like you already got stations playing that type of mainstream music. Play music for up and coming artists. So I had that in mind. Then I also like the way Hot 97 do their radio shows, with Ebro in the morning, how they have sound effects, how they have different segments, blah, blah, blah. And then I also liked how the Breakfast Club have their interviews, how they have people come in the building, they sit down, they keep it real. It's not like, like I have questions ready for you. Like, nah, we're having a casual conversation like how you and I are doing right now. So I just thought all that was dope. So I just kind of put all that into one pot. And I was like, yo, I think I kind of got something here. So I hit up Vanya. Vanya was the first person I hit up. I was like, you remember what we did back in 2011? I have an idea if we could do a radio show and I want you to be part of my I want you to host with me. She was like, oh, absolutely. Let me know when and where. It's like, say no more. So I told Josh about the idea. I was like, yo, Josh, we got New Villa Entertainment. New Villa Entertainment has the artists, with you, Sean, and Tron and all this. I want to add a new thing now. I want to add Newvillaradio where we play, we'll definitely play your music because you're a New Villa artist. We'll play Tron's music, but then I'll have other music, other artists play their music on it too.
Yep.
And Josh was like, yo, that idea is crazy. Let's do it. So Christopher and I went back to the drawing board. We're looking at equipment to get. We're looking at things to do, blah, blah, blah. Back then, when you got your tax money, you would get real like tax money. You would get like $4 or $5K. Now you'd be lucky to get $100. Like, it's crazy now, bro. But
you gotta have kids, man.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? That's facts.
You gotta have kids, man.
That's facts.
Tax credit helps.
Wow,
oh my gosh, man. Yo, with no kids, I was seeing like $5,000, bro. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. But anyways, I was like, yo, with my tax, I'm gonna get this equipment and I'm gonna get this studio and we're gonna get this popping. So tax time 2016, when I got the money, I got the equipment and I saved up money to get the office space. And God was able to help me find a nice office space. You were there a couple times for $400 a month, bro. That was a steal. That was like a blessing. So
that's where we recorded a whole album.
Yeah, you didn't do it in my house?
Nah.
No, you didn't.
We did singles at your house, but we did the whole album at the office.
At the studio. Okay, wow, that's crazy. Wow, okay. But you did record a couple songs in my apartment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I remember that. Yep. So, yeah. So, once we did that, I had another person that I had in mind to do the show because I thought this person she's a great, she has a great personality. She's great with people, and I thought she would have been perfect. And she was down at the moment, but then things happened. She kind of backed out. So I'm like, all right. So then I talked to my friend Rosie about it. And Rosie was like, yo, I'm down to do it. And Rosie has a sweet, personality, and she brings the Latin culture into it. And, shout out to my Dominican. She's Dominican too. So I brought her in there. So I'm like, all right, I think we're good. I got me, Rosie, and Vanya. I think we're good. But then I'm like, nah, it's 2 girls and 1 guy. I'm like, yo, I need a guy to help me out. So I needed 1 more dude. And shout out to my boy, Michael Laurie, man. First I asked my boy Davidson. But Davidson's like, yo, I'm too shy for that, man. When the cameras are on, I can't do it. So I'm like, all right, no doubt. I didn't take no offense to it. So I asked Mike Laurie. Mike Laurie was like, yo, it's crazy you hit me up because he was like, yo, I was listening to the radio like a couple days before and he heard like a radio host and he was like, yo, I could do this too. And I hit him up like 2 days later. So I was like, yo, let's do it. So I had the gang set up. We had the office space in April 2016. You and Ronald came in, recorded some projects. Josh recorded some projects. And then I was able to launch our first episode and our first show on December 7th, 2016. And it was fun, man. We had a good 3-year run. With the 3 years, we had 7 seasons. And it was fun, man. Like the first season, we had the guests that came in were just starting because we wanted to get our feet wet. So we weren't ready to get like bigger guests on the show. So we had Ronald who just dropped his music. We had other people who were just starting their new, Simon Obas. He just dropped a book. He dropped a book at the time called The Grind. We had people who just getting their feet wet on what they love to do. We got them on the show so we could get our feet wet. But then by season 2, we started getting bigger artists or bigger guests, bigger entrepreneurs, and our show was growing. And it was all God, man. It was fun. And you know, we had to stop it because wifey and I decided to get a crib, and the finances, you already know how that goes. It was just too much. So we stopped, and then we continued for a little bit, but we stopped again. But hopefully, you know, I pray and hope we come back. The gang and I, we still get together. We're still in a group chat. We still, you know, talk to each other every day.
I see you guys posting up at events.
Oh yeah. People ask us every day when we coming back. We're like, yo, we're not sure yet, but
you know, that show is it's dope because the dynamic that you guys have is so different. Your boy Mike is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Hilarious.
Shout out to Mike Lord. Shout out to Mike Lord.
Yo, the stuff that comes out, I'm like, yo, this dude. Yeah. But to get, you know, and especially like to get the female perspectives too, it's dope. Like how you guys it just meshes well.
Yeah. And shout outs to Mike and Rosie. They had to leave after season 3 because Mike's schedule got crazy and Rosie's schedule got crazy. So I had to sub Cash with Mike, and I had to sub Pamela Rosario for Rosie. So shout outs to them too. It's like the 90s Power Rangers, you know, you had the first cast and then the second cast, but it's all good. We're still family. Look, Mike, Laura, and Rosie, they're still part of the Newvillaradio family. They're just not on the We Break Silence show, but they still got Rosie, she's part of the street team. So when we have some events, she's out there in front of the cameras doing her thing. And I have a mixing show called the Breakthrough Mix Show, and Mike Laurie's with me on that. So they're still part of the Newvillaradio team.
And you guys did the red room freestyles. Those were dope.
Yeah.
But I bring that up because I just saw one that you guys, it was like a throwback that you guys threw up with I Glow.
Oh yes. Yep.
I Glow, he's put out some that dude is ridiculous.
This dude's a problem. Let me tell you that. I Glow's a problem. This dude, people are sleeping on this guy. He's a problem. And shout outs to him. He invited me to his album release party in 2020, right before the pandemic hit. The album is solid, man.
That joint is fire.
Yes. The album's solid. And shout outs to Ro. Ro produced most of the tracks except for one. So,
well, it's funny because I Glow is really good friends with Quest Thorough, the dude that's on the track, Jim.
Oh yeah. Yep. I didn't know that.
Him, Chris Cardiac, they're all the family. Shout out to the whole Mavericks movement.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like really they're really close.
The only thing I'm upset, this is a little gem for you guys. I'm upset about the I Glow freestyle. This is on me. The beat level was too high. It sounded perfect in my ears. But the thing was, I didn't record it in 2 separate tracks. Like usually I should have a vocal on one track and the beat in the other track. So on post-production, I could lower or higher the beat. What I did was I put everything stereo, so everything was in one track. So the beat was kind of too high. So if you listen to his freestyle, you could hear him, but the beat is loud. And I'm till this day I'm pissed about it, but whatever.
You know who I Glow reminds me of? He reminds me of like a young Joel Santana.
I was gonna say that.
His delivery. Actually, He has they just came out, him and oh man, I forgot what the name of the group is. Hold on, let me see if I can look it up. I know they just came out with a track. They're called oh geez Louise. They just came out with like it's 4 of them. They just came out with a track. And they're called let me see if I can remember it. I'll tell you right now. And the dude is very smart, very intelligent when it comes to the scripture too.
I Glow?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Very intelligent. I'm glad I was able to meet him, and you know, I haven't met him in person yet. Very cool dude, y'all. I ain't got nothing but love and respect for him.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. And I want to let me shout out I Glow real quick. He actually gave me the idea to start not only the Red Room freestyle, but the Blue Room freestyle. And with the Blue Room, I don't know if you ever caught that series,
No.
but the Blue Room freestyle, I would have a producer come in there and they would make a beat. And, as they make the beat, we chop it up and we show them how they start the beat. And then towards the end of the video, we hear the finished product. So that was the Blue Room freestyle. So that was dope too.
Yeah, I never caught that one.
Yeah, you gotta check it out, man. Blue Room freestyle. I was only able to drop 2 of them, but that was fun too. The Blue Room freestyles.
So, because I spoke to him, I'm gonna have him on the show soon. Because he mentioned he used to go to the bridge a lot too. DJ Ready?
DJ Ready. You gotta have to show me his face. I'm terrible with names, bro.
Yeah, no, DJ Ready, because I know me and DJ Ready, when I did the Chilling with Honor before I went on the second sabbatical, on the first sabbatical, before I went on the second sabbatical, I did a show with Ready called Chilling with Honor. And we were talking about the bridge and all that stuff. And
nice.
He used to be out there in the bridge. Let me see. There's something else I wanted to ask you. Oh man. Oh, not what I wanted to ask you, but that came into mind. Because you guys had so much success with the show, what would be your biggest advice or gem that you could drop to people that are wanting to start a show like a radio show or so on and so forth? Because I tell you, for me, with this show is completely different. This show came out of nowhere. This Keeping It a Buck came out of nowhere. I was on my second sabbatical and guys said, yo, you're going to start the network, the Laughatlifeo network. You're going to start that and your first show is going to Keep It a Buck. I'm like, well, I got the Chilling with Honor. I got the Laugh at Life old podcast. Like, what? Like, guys said, now forget about all those for now. Keeping It a Buck is to show people who the artists are, to get into real in depth, to keeping it 100. Because unfortunately, when you hear artists, when you hear successful people, when you hear these stories on the radio station, they give you a small clip. They can't, you don't get the full story. But the Holy Spirit said to me, yo, you got to get the whole story, because the whole story, and within that whole story, there's gems in there that people need to hear. Obviously, I'm friends with a couple artists, big time artist names that I'm cool with, that I could probably have them come on the show, but I'm not going to say who they are. But God said, nah, I don't want right now. It's not the big artists. It's not.
Yeah,
it's the regular people that don't get the shine that they deserve. What advice would you give people?
One advice I would give, besides the cliche, keep God first, that's the cliche, I guess, but it is true. Keep God in it. Consistency, bro. Be consistent with it. Like, legit, during that 3-year stretch, thank God, man, I didn't do it by myself. Like, Josh helped me a lot too, but we were like machines. We were literally a robot. Like, every Thursday when it was show day, I would prep, I would write my notes, I would pick music, I would do every Thursday, man. Like, it's like a machine, and you just can't stop, because if you miss 1 week, it's gonna throw everything off. And I literally did it for 3 years straight. Yes, we had our season breaks, and yes, the week we did have off was probably because of Thanksgiving or Christmas or something, but we were a machine. And a lot of, like, I made sure the show starts at 8. I told the crew, listen, I'm not strict. Y'all can't come here no longer than 7:30 because show has to start in at 8. Me, I upload the videos every night, like 2 or 3 a.m. because I was off on Fridays because of the job I had back then. So 3 in the morning, I would upload the videos on YouTube. 9 o'clock, I would share the post on Instagram or Facebook and like, yo, if you missed last night's show, listen to the interview. It's right here. Click the link, blah, blah, blah. But it was just having a Kawhi Leonard robot mindset, bro. Just you're literally a robot. Like you have to be that way. Like you have to be consistent. You have to put in 100% effort. Don't take any shortcuts. I know this stuff sounds cliche, but it's real. Like don't take any shortcuts, yo. Go beyond and above everything, man. Like whatever you want to do, stay consistent and just have a robot mentality, man. For real. Just do everything the same time, same way. Don't change anything different. Again, I understand there's going to be times where you do have to change stuff, but if you do that change, then make sure when you start the new change, make sure that's consistent. Like you got to make sure everything is consistent. That's the only thing I could say though.
That's why this show drops every other Friday.
That's good.
Because
that's good.
I do everything myself, and I don't do a lot of. There's not a lot of editing. There's maybe editing in the beginning, and that's pretty much it. But you know, putting up the questions up, whatever, throwing the sound effects. Hey, dude, I'm doing everything, but everything is just me.
That's what's up, man.
So that's why it was just like every other Friday. It just works.
I give you a lot of props, bro. It's tough. It's not easy, yo.
Oh man, trust me.
It's not easy, man. It's not easy.
I'm learning the hard way.
Yeah, man.
Hard way, for sure. Now, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say with us too, like we wasn't just podcasts. Like people would ask us, like, yo, are you podcast? I'm like, nah, we're an internet radio station because you could go on our website right now and listen to your song play. Like we had like 300 songs in rotation every day, and we had commercials. Like I'm not a fan of the secular music, but I'm a fan of Hot 97. I like how they promote the artists and give them their shine. I like how they have their commercials. I like everything they have under their umbrella. So I just took things that I learned from Hot 97. I took things that I learned from the Breakfast Club, and I just pinned it. I just twisted it our way, and it really helped out. It worked out.
Now, is the station still up?
Right now, it's not up because again, I had to take a break and ran into a little. I don't want to say I ran into financial problems. It's just I had to get this house, bro. So I kind of had to cut some stuff off. But again, I don't want to promise any dates, but we're looking to relaunch everything again, and that's all I can say. We're just working on it. We're working on it. That's it.
I love your NBA interview take right there. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Now, and I say that because my next question is, some people are going to hate me when I say this. There's an artist called Official KLS. I love the brother dearly. I do. But I have to say this. The Lakers are not going to win a ring this year.
I'm with you.
What is your thoughts? Because I know you're a big NBA fan. What are your thoughts about that Lakers move? What are your thoughts about LeBron, first of all?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you because I don't want people know my NBA history, but let me tell you my NBA history. When I first fell in love with the NBA, it was 2001 All-Star game, and the East was down by 20 in the fourth quarter. They were down by 20. And two people caught fire and helped the East came back. That was Allen Iverson and Stephon Marbury. Ever since that game, I fell in love with the NBA, and I fell in love with Allen Iverson. So I've been a Sixers fan since 2001, bro, like hardcore Sixers fan. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was a LeBron fan too. So that when LeBron went to Miami, because by the time LeBron went to Miami, Iverson was out the league and the Sixers was trash. I'm not going to lie. We were terrible. We were like the laughing stock of the NBA. So when LeBron went to Miami, bro, I was riding on the LeBron ship. Like I still had the Sixers in my heart, but I was on the LeBron Miami ship. You know what I'm saying? So I rode that wave for 4 years, and I was a big Bron fan. And then when he came back to Cleveland, I knew he wasn't going to stay there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my Sixers, man, because I don't want to look crazy being a Sixer fan, then a LeBron. I never claimed to be a Heat fan or a Cavs fan. I was always a LeBron fan. But like LeBron's moving city to city, and I'm cheering for those cities. I'm like, man, I can't keep moving on these different cities, man. People on Facebook getting on me and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, you know what? I'm going back. I'm going back home to Philly. So I was the prodigal son in 2000. I was like, Philly, I'm coming home. I miss you guys. Please take me back. But I went back home to Philly because I knew LeBron wasn't gonna stay in Cleveland. And out of all teams, this guy chose LA, which is a team that I hate because they stole Allen Iverson's ring in 2001, bro. They stole his ring. Kobe and Shaq stole Iverson's ring in 2001 finals. They beat us in 5. We won game 1, but the Lakers killed us 4 games straight, and they took our ring. And I hated the Lakers since. Like, I envy that team, man.
He said they stole it.
Yo, I got beef with the Lakers. And I'm like, yo, out of all 30 teams, bro, you go to the Lakers? I lost respect for Bron after that, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
This year's super stack, I don't like it.
This year's super stack, and
I was a Melo fan. I like Melo.
Okay.
I was always a Carmelo Anthony fan. I think he had a better run when he was with Denver. After he left Denver and he went to the Knicks, it was like, now he's with Bron. I don't know how I feel about it.
yeah,
I don't know how I feel about Melo.
yeah, man. Nah, man. I'm 100% Sixers. We having problems right now with Ben Simmons. The man don't want to shoot. So we're having some problems there.
But
it's
you guys
sad.
didn't have a bad season though.
Huh?
You guys didn't have a bad season.
No, we were number 1 in the East, but we got kicked out the second round because he's scared to shoot the ball. So we gotta figure that out.
I can't talk. I'm a Bulls fan. I grew up watching Jordan, and I stayed faithful to the Bulls. Everybody thinks I'm crazy because my brothers, they're like, yo, you're from the Bronx. How can you go for the Bulls and not for the Knicks? I grew up on the Bulls. My problem with the Bulls is they get a stacked team, they get a good team, and then they just give everybody away.
Y'all look good this year. Y'all got DeRozan and Levine, and so we'll see what happens this year.
Let's see what. Yeah, but you know what, man? The problem with the beef I got with the Bulls is this. Yo, you had Rose and you let him go. You had Robinson, you let him go. You had Noah, you let him go. Like, why we keep letting all these players go, man?
Yeah, I know. We'll see, man. But back to my Sixers story in 2001. Don't get me wrong. I see Michael Jordan play because my brothers would have Michael Jordan, 98, 99. That's when I was like in middle school. So I seen Jordan play, and he was great. But I wasn't in love with basketball then, man. I was trying to watch my Rugrats, Hey Arnold's. So I was pissed that my brothers would take the control and be like, yo, it's over for them Rocco's Modern Life and your Doug Funny. Like, it's over. Like, it's time for NBA basketball. So I'll be pissed, but I'll watch the games. I see Michael Jordan. He's the baddest man to ever play the game. I'll give you that.
So we're gonna wrap this up real. We're gonna wrap this up, but I got a question.
Yes.
Seen the new Rugrats?
I haven't.
Don't do it.
Oh, don't? Okay.
I checked it out. I loved Rugrats growing up. Nickelodeon, obviously. Rugrats, Doug, Rocco Martin's Life, Cat Dog.
Doug, I think Doug was my favorite, bro.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
I checked out the new Rugrats. So disappointed.
Wow.
It's like they tried too much to try to keep up with the times.
Yeah.
So much indoctrination in it that I seen that made me upset. Like,
wow.
Because I think after like the 3rd episode, I shut it off. I was like, yeah,
I'm surprised you made 3 episodes, bro.
Well, it's because I had to give it a chance. And the problem that I had with Rugrats is that I'm not 100% sure if they were trying to go with this theme or not. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it to really pay attention. But You remember the twins, Phil and Lil.
Yes. Yep.
So they had their mom and they had their dad. The dad was Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Completely out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
The dad's non-existent.
And remember too, in the 90s, he was barely in any episodes too. He wasn't really there. He was there once in a blue, but he wasn't really there too much.
They made the mom seem more, to me. Now I may be wrong. They made the mom seem more like, I mean, she was always like the town boy
Yeah,
type, you know.
She was.
But they made her seem this way. She still had that same demeanor, but to how I was watching it, like I'm sitting there excited. I was like, "Yeah, Rugrats, let's go. Let's see what's going on." Man, I got like the lesbian vibes from the moms, and at that point, I was like, "All right, hold on, now you know." Wait, like,
and I think they did say she turned lesbian, and by the time the new thing started. So,
you know, and that's the thing, and I don't have a problem with the LGBTQ community because I have friends that are, you know, but my issue is, and if I could keep it a buck, my issue is,
pushing it on the kids,
pushing that agenda, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody always tells me, yo, oh, you gotta chill, whatever, you know, what is it to you? And it's like, nah, like, y'all don't get it. Like, I can't sit here and proclaim Christ without people telling me that I'm a bigot, that I'm hateful, that I'm discriminative, this, that, and the third, which I get according to the Bible, to what the Bible says, we're gonna experience stuff like that.
Correct.
But you could push this agenda and I gotta eat it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I don't, and I feel the same way. I wouldn't say anything different. I just don't like how they push things like that towards the kids at such a young age. Like, it's not cool. It's not fair. And even people who aren't saved they're not cool with it either. They're like, yo, this is too much. Like, on the children, yo. It's too much. It's too much.
Now they have all these shows with the non-binary gender, whatever.
Yeah.
Which brings me to this last question before I ask you the final question. Did you watch Steve come back from Blue's Clues?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I seen it.
Did you cry?
Absolutely not. I didn't cry. I was never into Blue's Clues, bro.
I was excited when I saw Steve. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, Steve!
Did you cry? Don't tell me you cried, bro.
I ain't cry. I got a little emotional. You know, felt like it was sincere. He's like, look at you, everything that you've done. And I was like, you know what? I did do a lot. Because I used to watch it with my brothers.
Okay. I didn't, you know what's funny? I know Blue's Clues was my era, but I was never into Blue's Clues. I was more into Gullah Gullah Island, or that was me right there. But because I remember seeing Blue's. Here's the thing. I didn't really see Blue's Clues like that because Blue's Clues was on the days you missed school, because that was Nick Jr. Nick Jr. hours is for the little kids that were at home. So that's the only time I would see Blue's Clues, but I was never into Blue's Clues, man. Yeah. Even at a young age.
I grew up, Eureka's Castle was my joint.
Oh yeah, I remember that joint. Eureka's Castle
and Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow, yes, that's a classic. That's a classic.
The dude came out, oh man, he came out on a show. He featured on a show, made an appearance. I lost it. My kids were like, why are you? I was like, yo, that's Reading Rainbow. You don't know about Reading Rainbow? Like, if you don't know how to read, you go to Reading Rainbow.
Yo, things are so different, man. I was reading. You know what? Let me pull this up real quick. I know this is your show. I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, bro, go ahead, please don't.
Hold on. Let me give you this. Hopefully I can find this quick. The classic. Let me put classics.
Yo, tell me why I just looked at a picture of my cousin. He looked like a mixture of Machete and I don't know, some other freaking. This dude need to cut his hair.
I don't know if you can see this, but there's two pills here, red or blue. And which pill are you taking?
Oh man,
I'm going with the blue, bro. I'm going with the blue.
I'm gonna have to go with red.
Really?
Red is the one that has Heathcliff, right?
Heathcliff.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would change in that is Heathcliff. I would give me Teenage Mutant. I'll do the swap, the Turtles and Heathcliff and Transformer and Voltron, because I'm a big Thundercats fan.
Yeah,
That's
I'm going with blue, bro. I seen this. I'm like, ah,
that's a tough one.
that's tough. That's tough. That is tough.
That
But
is,
I think I said, yo, I'm gonna go with blue.
I have to go with red, but if I could do some trades, I'll definitely trade up Voltron and
Did you see the bottom of the blue?
yeah, Inspector Gadget and G.I. Joe.
That was my joint, bro. Inspector Gadget. Oh my gosh, that was my joint, bro.
I was a big Thundercat. So now that we're talking about that, Thundercats or He-Man?
Okay, I agree.
Thundercats. Yo, why is it? Hold on. Why is it that no one has made a Thundercats movie yet?
I don't know.
CG movies and Ninja Turtles. You did G.I. Joe.
Everything
been done. Everything transformed.
Everything on this list has been redone except
Thundercats.
Except Thundercats. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hating online though, man.
Yeah, everything on this list has been redone.
And there was rumors in high school. I don't know if you remember. This is how far these rumors go back. No, I'm lying. Am I lying? When did Fast and the Furious come out? The first one.
2001, because 2003 was the second one.
Yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious was 2003, so 2001 was the first one.
So ever since Fast and the Furious came out, they've been talking about that whatchamacallit would play Pandora. I think that's his name. Vin Diesel to play Panthra.
Oh wow.
But that's been rumored since. It still hasn't happened.
Really.
Somebody please make a Thundercats movie. Oh, y'all need to stop.
Hey man, pitching the script, man. Pitching the script.
Let's do it.
For real.
So we're gonna wrap this up, man. Any last words, final words you got for people?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you want, I guess for anyone who's watching, you guys can if you want to learn more about, the New Villa movement, you can follow us on Instagram at Newvillaradio. Follow us on Facebook at Newvillaradio and New Villa Entertainment. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, New Villa Radio, where we have all interviews with past guests. We had some major guests on there, and hopefully in the future, I'm gonna put your boy Honor on there too, man. But again, I don't want to say too much. No. But if you get an invitation in the future, don't be surprised, brother.
I'll be more than humble.
Don't be surprised.
I'll be more than humble and honored, no pun intended.
Yes, sir. And then I'm probably gonna have you there a couple times because I need you for an interview and I'm gonna need you for a red room. So okay, you gotta get ready for that.
Okay. Well, you already know me in the freestyles.
Yeah. Been a while. Yeah, man. But yeah, that's it for now, man. And if you want to hear Josh's music, man, same thing. We had a website, it was down. Everything was under New. That site should be coming back up soon, but it's newvillaentertainment.com, just in case it is up at the time you hear this. But you can listen to Josh on every music platform, man. Just the way we spelled it before, Joshva, and you can hear all this music, man. And I think that's all I can say. And like I was saying earlier, man, whatever dreams or passion you have, don't wait to start it. Just start it with what you have. And once you start it, be consistent and build. And trust me, you will win.
Well, brother, thank you for having for coming. Thank you for having me. Listen to me. I'm preparing.
Nah, man, this is dope, man. Thank you. I'm honored and humbled to be on the show, brother. Appreciate you having me, man.
Thank you. So thank you for coming on the show, and thank you, everybody. This is Keeping It a Buck with your boy Anna, and today we had E. Charles, and we're still working on the outro. I'm playing with it. Anyways, until next time, I love y'all, everybody. Be easy, take it easy, and we out. Peace. Thanks for watching Keeping It a Buck on the Laughatlifeo Network. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button. Because remember, every other Friday, we drop a new episode. And you don't want to miss our next episode. Man, you don't want to miss it. But while you at it, make sure you go to eyesonyouthclothing.com. So that way you can get your Laughatlifeo gear. Because, you know, you got to stay Laughatlifeo, get up. See what I did there? Anyways, man, thank you for watching, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Peace.